You probably want it like this. Yes. Yes, you do. Aha! Huzzah. There you go, dear. Let me know when we get people showing up.
So far, nobody.
What? Nobody.
Hi, Blythe.
That's what I thought. You know what?
Hi, David. Hi, Tyler. Alex. Hi, Utah.
We should have put the name
Hey,
what this clutch
Blaze.
is. Besides just 1902, I'll do
Hi,
that.
Craig. Hi, Richard. Welcome. Hey, Steve.
So what we're doing today, guys, is we're going to do egg cutting number 2. This is a bigger clutch, smaller eggs though, but it is GHI to moho. So what, of course, we're hoping to see is some GHI mohos, right? First, as always, clean myself, clean my equipment. Okay, let's get right into it.
Let's do it. Good evening, everybody.
We'll give people a few minutes to show up. If you're on for Patreon, stay tuned because we'll go to our Patreon after we do this. We'll actually start setting up the babies from the last clutch. A lot of them already out the egg, which is pretty awesome. So when we get ready to do this, let's take a look first. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 eggs. They are kind of shriveled. That's pretty normal for a lot of these. And you can see one has pipped on its own. I did not get a chance to see what that is. So what we could get, and I can actually show you one of the parents. I can't show you both the parents because, again, as my females lay eggs, are moving to the new house. And we haven't set internet up over there yet.
Cody, I am so sorry. I'm already taken.
And this guy just had a shed. He's still getting off the last remnants, like right there, but it's pretty loose, so it'll come off on its own. So GHI, that is our GHI male we're working with. We'll put him back. We're working with our older Mojave female. I know she's our older one. She lays the most eggs. So, how many people you got showing up so far, dear?
So far, 105. And
okay.
where did the scissors you're using for snake cutting come from?
Walmart, I think. Walmart or Target. Just suture scissors. Any pair of suture scissors is what they are. Let's go ahead and start with the one that's already pipped. Let me find a spot I want to. There we go. Oh, look at that. First one. That is a GHI Mojave. I can tell right away. You can see the light patterning. You can see there. It's going to, of course, brighten up as it has its first shed. Boom! So right there, okay, guys, we did 2 clutches these last year. 2 clutches of GHI to moho. I hit 1 out of 2 clutches. 1. As a matter of fact, I'll show you the one I hit, just so you know kind of what these things are going to end up looking like. This is a girl I hit from last year, and of course, I kept her. So you can see right away how I know what's in there. I love this morph. So to get one on the first egg really makes me feel good. Because I was afraid, hitting one last year, what if I missed him this year completely? Now, somebody's probably saying, oh, I bet he's going to keep that one. I bet he's not, because I just like making them. I wanted one. I've always wanted one since I first saw him a few years back. I already got mine. So let's go cut some more. Can we get at least 2? Odds are 1 in 4, so we should get about 2. For good odds would be 3. Of course, there's also GHIs and Mojaves we can also get.
Any hognose snakes, honey?
No, we don't own any hognose. This is not going to be a GHI Mojave. That one looks to be the other end of the spectrum.
Anthony, congratulations on your first clutch.
Yes, nothing beats that first clutch. Can't tell for sure. That actually might end up being a moho when it's out. Could be just a normal. One thing I want to point out is you're seeing some blood right there. And if you're new to egg cutting, you're probably thinking, holy shit, he cut the snake. He didn't cut the snake, but there will be blood vessels that are still attached. And sometimes you'll hit one of those and you're going to get that. That snake is perfectly fine. Look, whoop, whoop. And you'd know if it was a snake bleeding. So
what was that sound effect again?
Whoop, whoop. So we'll go here. And also something I like to do is I like to pinch and kind of just roll. That helps to prevent that sometimes, but you're always going to get some sometimes.
Yep. So why do you cut the egg instead of letting them pip on their own?
Well, because sometimes I've looked in there and I found in a twisted umbilicus, and I've been able to manipulate that snake while it's in the egg. Holy shit, there's number 2. So they screwed me last year on the odds. This year they're making up for it. That is GHI Mojave number 2. You can see that nice, pretty stripe. That's a gorgeous one. I've seen it in twisted umbilicus, be able to untwist that. I've also had snakes that pipped on their own and couldn't get out the egg or aren't able to pip. I know the clutch is ready when the first one pips, so I know that they are developed enough that we can do this without a problem. And just make sure that they have an exit. And so if they get kind of turned around, like they're trying to pip out, and I've done this where I've cut the egg, and the snake still did this once. It was kind of mind-boggling. But it pipped, and it pipped into another egg. So it didn't like cut into the other egg, but it was trying to get out and ramming into another attached egg and couldn't get out and still died, even though I'd cut an exit for it. That's less likely to happen if you cut an exit or if the snake has a bad egg tooth. I just think it gives you a slightly higher chance. Now, it can be done too early, and there's a lot of debates on it. I can tell you, I don't think I've ever lost one due to cutting or had an issue due to cutting. So I continue to do it. If I thought my chances were better not cutting, I wouldn't cut. All things being equal, I'd cut. Okay, right there, look at them little nose. That's going to be a GHI. Do not see Mojave in that at all, but definitely GHI. So far, I think we have one normal, maybe Mojave, 2 GHI mohos, and a GHI. We're doing really good on this, guys. We're doing really good. Let me rotate this around. You know what's funny, too? The reptile hobby.
Too late, Corey. Too late. The
People
puddle's already on the floor.
already always complain about certain things, and for a while, it was egg cutting that people were complaining about. That one, that's going to be a little bit interesting when it crawls out. Probably just another, it'll be hard to say. That'll be hard to say. I can't see enough of that to really tell for sure, so I'm not going to call that one. One thing you can, I think, do wrong here is you can cut too big of a hole. I see people take the whole tops off. I'm not really a fan of that. It may work well for them. The reason I'm not a fan of that, I think it causes the snake to stress and an early exit. The way I like to do it is cutting this flat back where it can kind of still close. That's definitely GHI.
Mm-hmm.
You can really see that in there.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Probably not GHI Mo, just GHI. And that doesn't cause the snake to stress as much, I don't think, or they'll stay in the egg and absorb their entire yolk. If I take the whole roof off, it may feel forced to exit, not absorbing its entire yolk, and then you are kind of starting that animal behind the 8-ball, so to speak.
Tyler, are you the only one who has skipping going on, or are other people having skipping going on?
Yeah, if you are, we'll reset the Wi-Fi or something, if it's a lot of people.
Nope. Looks like consensus looks pretty good.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Get in there. That's probably just normal. Some of these are kind of normalish looking, can pop out and end up being Mojave. I'm not cutting a big enough hole to really see all the pattern.
Last one.
Oh, 2 more.
2 more. So how are the ones from the last clutch doing, honey?
A lot of them have exit, all but one have exited the egg. We're actually going to set those up in tubs today. I do think we're going to have quite a few normals in this clutch, which, you know.
You know, can you lean down a little bit, honey,
Why?
when you like do your next cutting so I can shoot what the top of your hat says?
It says, everybody knows what it says.
Some people don't.
It says, want to see my balls. It's just like our shirts.
Where would someone get a want to see my balls shirt? I mean, hat.
Probably at a show. Okay, let's get this last day. Let's go out the bank. Come on, one more GHI Mojave.
David, my new car has a flat tire. I haven't driven it since it came off the lot.
It is another GHI Mojave. I wasn't laughing at her. She did. She picked up a nail in her tire like in the first few days. So I got to take it and get that done. All right, let's go back through and just make sure everything's alive and kind of see how we did. So this is definitely a GHI. And again, we're just going to drag these along, look for reaction. There it is. See movement. That's either going to be a normal or Mojave, likely a normal movement. That is definitely a GHI Mojave. Woo! That one is like almost looks like patternless at this angle. That thing's beautiful.
Well, Brandon, he started with 2 and added from there.
Let me see a little bit more on that one. I want to share a little bit more with you guys of this snake. Just because it is fantastic. Look at that. I don't know how I'm peeling that back, but just almost a completely patternless version. We'll see when it comes out, of course. Let's see if we can't get a reaction. Oh, there it was. Woohoo! This is definitely a GHI here. That one looks to be pretty normalish. Good movement. GHI Mojave. Good movement. 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 Movement.
You know, Ashley, that's a really interesting question that you're asking, which was how long did it take to add to your collection before it was successful? And you had, I think, about 17 snakes when we first started dating. And your first clutch happened the first summer we were together. But it was a...
I think we got 3 GHI Mojaves in there and at least 2
failed
GHIs.
clutch.
So really good odds.
Not because of the snake, but simply just kind of novice error.
Yeah, that was my fuck up. I'll admit. Nobody else to blame but me.
And a lot of that was just self-education that Matt was doing and reading and talking with people and going into our local reptile shop. And
education wasn't the problem with that. It was, I'd educated myself all I possibly could. Like, I think I'd read to the end of the internet, but it was experience. And
do you want me to go put these back?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
Okay.
I'm going to go put those back. And you want to bring the ones that are already out, and we'll switch to Patreon here in a few minutes.
I'll set it up if you want to.
You got that. I'll flip
Okay.
it. Wee! All right, so now I can hear everybody. I can see what people are writing now. Let me get that. There we go. So basically, I guess depends what you mean by successful. Are you talking about successful, like, it was paying itself or paying for itself, or are you talking like successful, like we made babies? And what you mean by successful can be totally different. So that's, I guess, what I would be looking for to answer that. As far as making babies, and you can do it with just 2, right? But to pay for itself, it's not so much the number of snakes you have. Also, it's going to depend on the genetics you have. I mean, what I consider successful, man, it changes. And my first clutch was a big success. The first one that lived, the first one I killed was not a very big success. So for me, that first clutch where I was able to raise the babies, I was able to sell everything, I wasn't holding back. I only had like 2 or 3 clutches in my first year. That was a big success. It wasn't paying the bills, right? But it kind of told me, hey man, you can do this. You have the ability to do this. And so then, hey, thank you so much, Jennifer Murray. I appreciate that. And so then success changes. And it turned into certain things I wanted to produce. My zebra bee, that was a big success. And so success for me is never going to be something that, huh?
Do you still need me?
For the next one, yeah.
Okay.
Success is never going to be a singular target. It's always going to push the envelope further. So, because I think when you say, okay, I'm successful, I did what I came to do and I'm a success now on it, you stop growing, you stop pushing, and you stop gaining. So you always got to go forward. As far as the next show, I don't know. All I can say for sure is probably the cons of the show. We are working at getting to some. I would probably like to go back to Colorado again like I did, but I got to work that out with the guy I was working with on that. I honestly don't think that I'm going to have animals very often. I think they're probably going to get bought up like they did last year for the vast majority of it. So, it's just one of those things. I don't know about that. So I'm not going to say we'll be there. I'll say, no, we're going to be there. So it's just going to depend, Jeff said he'd go back to Denver with me. That's good. So it's going to just really depend. Rich, we're located in Manhattan, Kansas, hence all the purple and white and silver you see. Go K-State. So that's kind of why we're here. But it's just a matter of, I'd love to go to shows like all the time. I truly would. Kurt and I even talk about we need to do more shows. Problem is, I can't go to shows if I ain't got animals to sell. And, and then time. I mean, you guys got to remember, like, this will be probably the third night this week, dear. Or fourth night I've been eating dinner in bed. This will be my fourth night of having dinner in bed. Not because I want to eat dinner in bed, because I don't get a chance to sit down and eat dinner until it's like 10:30 at night. Now, I'm not complaining. Like, I'm not wanting, like, I'm not bitching and moaning. But the simple fact is there's only so many hours in the day. And I have to, I have to have enough to my work before I can go away. And I did eat ice cream for dinner once not too long ago because I asked Question Girl what was for dinner, and she half woke up. It was like 11 o'clock, and she goes, meat in a bowl. Went back to sleep. She didn't remember the next morning. So I just got some ice cream. And you know what? We don't get a lot of tornadoes actually where we're at. We had one back in 2005, maybe 7, something like that. And we're on the side of a hill, and half my house is underground. A good chunk of the new place is underground, so we're good to go on there. If we lost power, we have generator power to run the animals, and we also have like wood burning stoves, so we can keep the heat up. Hey, dear, did you bring that other box? The box of number ones that we're gonna set up on Patreon.
I don't know which one. Okay.
It'll be the one with snakes crawling around.
I figured that out.
So we don't get too many actually hit here. And it wasn't cookies and cream. It was actually homemade ice cream that was chocolate mint. It was actually not ice cream. It's the other one that's a little bit heavier. So, but yes. So, and I appreciate everybody watching. I am also a little terrified of them. I'm more scared now than I used to. I think the older I get and the more things I've acquired, I don't want to, lose anything. You haven't seen any videos lately. I don't know why. We're still popping out 2 a week. Make sure your notification bell is there. YouTube likes to screw with me on that. So looks like it's halfway. I do not. I am not an expert on Burmese. That's just not my area of expertise. Yeah, and you guys in Texas do get tornadoes. Y'all part of Tornado Alley just with us. So, all right, guys. I think we have pretty solid odds. Can't wait to see those crawl out. But I think it is probably time for us to hop off of here and slide over to Patreon and go from there. So, so I took you off geckos and put you here. Sorry about that. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. See you in a few minutes.